All right. What's going on, guys? Making a quick video about formatting. So that way, when it comes time to revising your draft, you have an awesome looking and sounding piece of work. So I'll go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to take a look at a draft from this essay and talk about what can happen with it. First of all, you notice the formatting is all out of whack, right? So the thing you can do is do Command A, and first thing we want to do is make sure everything is in 12-point font. So we go up here to the font size, click on that. We also want to change this to Times New Roman. Click on that. You also see that the spacing is messed up. You know you need to double space it. So we're going to go to this little button right here and click on 2. On Google Docs is a little bit different. So for a final essay, your response should not be titled Debate Response 2. So get rid of that. It does look like this person knows they need a better title, and they title it Is Social Media Good for Society? You don't need parentheses because you just don't. You don't title it like that. That's not the formatting. You do have to capitalize all the first letters. So we're doing that. The kind of like subwords for, a, the, oftentimes aren't capitalized. So I'm going to leave it uncapitalized. I still haven't figured out the reason why. I could probably make something up, but I'm not going to even try. You'll notice spacing is really off. This is like quadruple spaced here. Let's go ahead and unquadruple space it and leave it as double space. And that's good. You'll also know, as we talked about in the last video, that, or in the other video, that you need a works cited page. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it on this page here. I don't need to scroll all the way down to the new page. But this is where they're going to put their works cited. Just as a reminder to them to make sure they do it. So let's see here. We're looking pretty good. One thing this person could do, as you learned before, is to make a header. So let's insert page numbers on Word. This is how you do it. We want it to be at the top of page, and we want it to be on the right side. So we click OK, and we, as you learned before, back it up. Oops. And I'm going to put last name here. We also want to make sure to change that font size and font type. So pretty straightforward. So our paper is already looking way better than it was before. I want to make sure this is in the same font because details matter. So we got that. Cool. Look at that. You obviously notice this person does not indent correctly. So you want to make sure it's left justified and then indent. I also noticed they didn't put a space here. You got to put spaces and all that kind of stuff. You don't need 2 spaces between sentences. So let's go ahead and make sure all their paragraphs are indented. That's really important. They did it here, so that's good. Congratulations to this person. This line right here indicates there's extra space. See that happening? That means fix it. This red line here means there's not enough space. There's no space at all. So we're gonna go ahead and put a space. I'm not sure what this means. We'll take a look at that in a moment. What does it mean? It means they use some weird formatting thing. You have to use a quotation mark. This, I don't know what that is. Those 2 dots there. That's not a quotation mark. You need to put a quotation mark, that's shift, and then that little quotation mark thing right next to the return button. Whenever you are doing a lead-in, you need to have a comma right before the quote. So if you're doing a quote at the end of a lead-in, you have to have that comma there. Yeah. What do you notice here? That I'm just looking at this broadly, which is the same thing you should be doing upon first read. You'll notice they're missing what? They're missing the parenthetical. So this should be the author's last name. And then the period goes on the very end of the sentence, not inside of the quotation mark, because that indicates that's the end of the sentence, that the parenthetical goes with the sentence, not somehow connected to the next sentence. So we make sure that's like that. I also see they say Tulane University. The university doesn't speak, FYI. So it's someone at Tulane or a publication by Tulane. So maybe that's what it is, a publication by Tulane. But they probably want to mention the title. So a publication by Tulane University called name of publication here. Now we have a much better formatted and more accurate lead in there. So let's take a look here how we're doing. So we did a few changes. We're not really talking about content at this time. We are more talking about just the way the paper looks. Obviously, again, you know that line there means need a space. But let's take a look at some content. In fact, let's take a look at the concluding paragraph, because I probably won't take a look at yours for you. I might take a look at your intros, your body paragraphs. Well, here's what they come out to with social media. We know that they're arguing that social media is hurtful, okay? Quick note, always avoid the use of I. Why? Because your name is right there. If you are stating an opinion or an assertion in your paper, you want to avoid using I. So how do you do that? Very, very, very easy. We just want to say, delete, oops, social media is used to hurt people. If you say, in my opinion, and then you state your opinion, I know it's your opinion. So just say your assertion. So social media is used to hurt people and it needs to change. Okay. There are the sirens again. But social media can create great opportunities for people to gain great jobs. So that's their thesis, because it occurs at the end of the first paragraph. There's some things they could work on here. They're not clear about how it's used to hurt people. So I'm going to ask this person how, maybe they've already said that in the earlier part of the paragraph. I don't know. How is it backwards? Is it used to hurt people? So we want to make sure that we're really clear with our thesis. That's strong. We talked about writing thesis statements before. Remember, we did a 4-point scale and you looked at some of those thesis statements. You may want to refer back to that as a way to make sure that your thesis is really strong. Because right now this one is like, it's like a 2 because it doesn't really do what it needs to do. It's weak. Social media is used to hurt people. We don't know how. It needs to change. What does that mean? It needs to change. Obviously, you know the question, how does it need to change? Should it be completely eliminated? Should it be restricted? Should 15-year-olds and younger not be able to use social media? Should they not be able to use TikTok? Where are we going with this? So you need to make, in order to make a really good argument, your argument must be clear. If it's not clear, your reader is going to get lost. They're going to not believe your point. And they're going to want to move on to the next one. And they're probably going to give you a C- or a D+, especially if it's a final essay. And this is how you turn it in with all these errors. It's kind of like you clearly did not push yourself to write the best essay that you can. So they say social media is used to hurt people and it needs to change, but social media can create great opportunities for people to gain great jobs. Okay, we have an extra space here, as you know. That's interesting. So is that the only circumstance, is the question I'm going to ask this person. Is that the only circumstance where social media should be used? Is that what this person is saying? I'm going to want to know why they only include getting great jobs. Are there other good things about social media? The thesis feels like they're kind of like, yeah, we don't like it, but yeah, we like it. And that, as we talked about, is too even balanced. This person needs to better emphasize their opinion about the nature of social media. So keep that in mind as you're revising. Obviously, we talked about putting in parentheticals. This person does have quotes, so that is good. We just don't have a lot of quotes. If you're in my honors class, you know you need 2 quotes per paragraph and definitely more substantial commentary. So keep that in mind. Again, this is just a surface level reading. This is just looking like a first revision. We can definitely go way deeper than this, but for the sake of time, it's almost 10 minutes. I don't want to spend that time in this video. So here's the conclusion, as we were going to talk about. Social media is used in the wrong way and is wrong. Woo, that's a big statement, isn't it? It's wrong. What does that even mean? That it's wrong. How can social media be wrong? Aren't people right or wrong, or answers right or wrong? How can social media be wrong? This person may, if they've given good examples of that, they may want to somehow tie this assertion back into your examples. For example, you could say it's wrong because we see that it hurts teenagers' morale or self-esteem. We see that it is distracting from education, whatever it might be. But you can't just make a statement like that without elaborating on it. It doesn't stand on its own. It's an unfounded claim, is what we call that, an unfounded claim. And it's disconnected from everything else. Social media shouldn't be so unsafe for people. Okay, so again, another big unfounded claim, right? They could tie this back to their examples. By doing that, they wouldn't have to do much more elaboration because this clearly is just wrapping things up. This sounds like it's the end of the sentence, isn't it? So you should put a period and a new sentence there. Cyberbullying is very hurtful to teens and adults and should be a crime. Yeah, I'm not sure if cyberbullying is a crime. I hope this person has mentioned what those legal, punishments are. So this person is seeming to get a little bit more into detail, but again, seems like kind of disconnected from the rest of their writing. Social media should be safe for people to use, not for hackers to get all people's information. So that must be another paragraph that they talked about, is this idea of, or another topic in a paragraph, the idea of hackers getting, people's information, how it's dangerous. Okay. Now, this topic is very important because cyberbullying can lead to an end of a teen's confidence. So obviously, as you can tell with this conclusion, there's kind of a lot missing here. It doesn't feel like it's really wrapping up the essay. In the so what right here, it's very important because maybe restate some statistics about the prevalence of cyberbullying or something like that. And also maybe something about the prevalence of social media use in today's world, right? We know that more and more people are using social media, and how like everyone really in some way has some form of social media, or at least 90%, I don't know, something like that. 90%, 99% of people. So go deeper, right? That's what I'm going to tell this person. Go deeper with this commentary. Leave me as a reader with a sense that you really understand the importance of the topic of social media in today's world, rather than just being like, yeah, it could just hurt a teen's confidence. That seems a little bit reductive and simplistic. So we want to go deeper, we want to go bigger, we want to really show that we're thinking about the topic. And that goes also for your commentary. This paragraph here ends with a quote. I don't even really see any commentary here. The commentary needs to be there, first of all. So let's put that, needs commentary. But the commentary should also be well elaborated. So let's add that. Well elaborated commentary. That means like 2 to 3 sentences. And if you're doing 2 quotes in a paragraph, 2 pieces of evidence, like 4 or 5 sentences, like deep. You got to show your teacher that you're thinking deeply about these topics. If you just do the basic, like 4-sentence paragraphs and a quote and all these spelling errors like we're seeing here, and formatting errors, and I don't know, generalizations like we see in the intro here, the teacher is going to be like, wow, this person didn't like really step up their game. So this final draft is an opportunity to step up your game. Okay, so I'm going to pause because that's the bell and you're coming in. So, and we're almost at 15 minutes. So good luck, try your best. And as always, if you have questions, just got to ask. You got this.